Hello, everyone. It's Ceruli or Riley, whatever you want to call me. I am here with my second place Wind Nexus deck profile as well as the finals gameplay. I really wanted to show off this and just kind of show you the unedited version of the gameplay just to give you an insight to how things went in the finals. I know Dan couldn't record them. I know he's doing a recording over, but this will be a little bit different since it's strictly from my perspective. Dan's will be from his perspective, so it'll be way different. But I also want to do a deck profile and kind of talk about the deck and my thoughts on it and where it currently stands in the current meta now that it has Nemi Sail, but before Frostfall. So just to give a big overview of everything. A few things I want to talk about in the finals game that I lost. Nova, congratulations, you played that game excellently. Every step of the way. I definitely had some misplays in there that you'll see, but to win a tournament, you need to be able to not misplay, but to also take advantage of your opponent's misplays, and he did that to a T. He beat me with Benterror. Love to see it. Definitely deserves all the respect and credit for the way he played. He was the only person I lost to all day, so huge respect for Nova. For a few other things that I want to bring up. There's two major misplays that I could get some. I could get. I'll take all the heat for it. It's something that I'll never forget. But two things that I think are very important to point out for just players trying to get in competitively, and for someone to win the entire tournament. These are things that you need to very much focus on and become experts in. So the first thing is, in the first game, I was down to 4 spirits. You'll see this. It's a little bit of spoiler alert. Sorry about that. So I was down to 4 spirits, and I should have saved 4 wind spirits, and I accidentally saved a water, and I didn't even have a tsunami in hand. So one big point I want to point out is, do not save your spirits in anticipation that you might get a card. If you do not have that card, save the spirits that you need to use for what you already have in your hand. If you draw a card like Earthquake or Tsunami when you're playing limited spirits to play it, if you're at the end of the game, do not save spirits. It sounds simple, but when I was in the game, it's really easy to be like, oh, if I need that water spirit, because the one water spirit's a little bit different because you can put it onto an Elestral and you can attack and not get hit by Tsunami. So it's a little different, but in this scenario, I should have known. If I would have kept 4 spirits, I could have exalted him and potentially got him down to 0 spirits and won for game. So that definitely was an option. Don't know if that would have worked out that way, but because I didn't do it, I ended up losing game 1. And then in game 2, I made 2 huge boo-boos. One was an accidental cheat. I'll explain. And 2, I PTA'd a Hydrake when I had a monster in attack mode that he can crash into. So first, I'll talk about the cheat. The cheat was a complete accident. I had an Altar of the Stars down, and I altered, and I took a Thunder Spirit from my Elichick, and I put it onto Astrabbit, and then I was able to use Astrabbit's effect once that happened. Once this happened, his turn was done because I was able to change his monster to defense. So he ended his turn while I was still looking for my Astrabbit. So in the middle of me choosing which card I wanted to choose, my turn ended and I drew. And I just remember I looked down and I was like, oh, a Viscerus, cool. And then I grabbed an Earthquake with my Astrabbit, not realizing that I was looking between, I believe, Earthquake, PTA, and Viscerus. Not realizing that the card that I had just drawn before I finished activating my Astrabbit's effect was that Viscerus. And then I realized it about 2 turns later that's like I should have been like, oh, I need to return this Viscerus, shuffle, and then draw. I didn't realize it. I didn't think about it. It didn't affect my choice. I was taking Earthquake no matter what, but I was in the middle of thinking about it, and it can be conveyed as like, oh, I took the Earthquake because I drew Viscerus. It's not the case. I understand the way it's going to look in the video, but I was so mentally fatigued and not even thinking at that point. I swear I looked down, I was like, cool, Viscerus, and I picked up the Earthquake, and then I just continued on, and 2 plays later I was like, oh, that is not how that's supposed to sequence. This only happens in the app because if the app was automated, then it would have made him wait to end his phase until my effect was done activating. And in real life, you're never going to be looking at the top 3 of your cards and then add 2 of them. Like, it would only happen in this specific scenario with the app. So definitely deserve all the shit in the world for not calling it out, but I was just nervous. It was my first ever finals match for a TCG tournament, so nerves definitely got the best of me. And then PTAing Hydrake is just a silly move that, even in a casual sense, I don't think I would ever do it. I just wasn't thinking. It was kind of a big fault of mine where I was trying not to. I was playing really well all day, not overthinking. I think in the finals, I was too worried about overthinking, so I actually underthink a lot of plays and didn't fully think things through. So I PTA'd a Hydrake. He was able to crash, get out Twindra, run the Pantera line, and then that helped him win. Not saying that it would have changed the games. He still absolutely, the games still had good back and forth. It wasn't game determinative in any way, but it could have made a huge difference if I would have kept that PTA for his Twindra. But okay, so I will make myself small, and then we're gonna pull up my deck profile. All right, here's the deck list. The deck list is very similar to, we posted a video when Nemisail came out of a sample deck list that you could make with Nemisail in the deck, and we played a game with it. So it's very similar to that, with a few minor tweaks. I did end up only playing one Nemisail in the main deck. I think I ended up regretting this. There's lots of things about this list that I wish I would have had a little bit more time playtesting in. The week leading up to the tournament, I was pretty busy, but I was pretty familiar with Wind Nexus in general, and I had been in my own theorizing and how to play with Nemisail since I first heard it, so I knew how the deck would run. I knew the things I'd want to do with Nemisail. I just didn't know if it was a card that I wanted to search whenever I needed it or draw it more. I would absolutely play it at 2. I had this in the original deck profile in the other video, but I think I would definitely bump this up to 2 and maybe bump one of these down as well. But to go card by card, we'll start with the spirits. I did 9 Lycoris, 5 Teratlus, 4 Zaptor, and 2 Leviathan. My thoughts around this were I wanted something I struggled with all day was spirit management. Even though we have Nemisail, it still is very tricky with only 9. So I questioned running the Viscerus and Earthquake package together because it does take up so much room that I almost would prefer it to run kind of like how Earth Beaters runs, where it has 14 and you just mono it and you just have all these wind spirits to do all your plays with. It's definitely runnable like this. It's definitely very high impact when the Earth package works out, but there was definitely times where, you use your late game, you use your Earth Spirits up, and then you draw your Earthquake, you draw your Viscerus, and then they're gone, which if you just keep the winds, every time you draw a wind card, it's live. So that is something that was frustrating that I'm definitely, for the future, considering tweaking, maybe taking out the Viscerus, or maybe just leaving in the Viscerus, not doing Earthquake, and switching out for Laurels, something like that. But everything else is pretty standard. You could have switched around, maybe running one more water, but I found that I liked this ratio. Some people think 3 is perfect for water, because then you can have 2 for your tsunamis and 1 to misenchant to get over your opponent's tsunamis. I found that I usually had another water in there, especially if you're playing Ambrosia. It's just an opportunity to do at the end. It's not something I wanted to play for, and with me already struggling with spirits, I would not want to take any more away from the Lycoris. I played 4 Zaptors because I wanted to be able to activate Ash Rabbit twice, Elichick once, and at least put 1 onto Zeus. So that was the theory behind it. I wanted to be able to activate at least all these cards once. But to get into the main deck, we did play 3 Viscerus just because this deck, this toolbox engine does really good when it plays behind something. And what it's playing behind is Astrabbit, Sorlet, Viscerus. So Viscerus, Astrabbit, and Sorlet can all establish presence on the board that your opponent has to deal with. And once they deal with it, that's when you bring out your toolbox engine to start picking apart their board. The Viscerus is the #1 best card for that in any deck, to be added to any deck. He brings out more of himself. He just becomes a real problem if you do not deal with him. So your main point in using this is to deal with cards on your opponent's turn. So that way when you get to this engine, you can start really messing your opponent up, and they are kind of constantly off balance with it. Next, I play 2 P-Gust. I only play 2 Elichick because I have the 2 Aeolus and 1 Zeus, so I would definitely consider bumping this up to 3 and bumping Aeolus up to 3 and bumping Nemisail up to 2, just to kind of smooth it out a little bit. The Zeus came up a few times where the main reason why I play Zeus is because 1, it's just a great card to get over things. So if there's something too big, something like a 5 attacker or an Astra, but anything I can't get over, he's a searchable card that can help me get over them. But also with playing a card like Altar of the Stars and Astrabbit being a receive effect, I was able to take that Thunder off of Zeus and put it onto Astrabbit and make a lot of plays that way. So I do like the Zeus because that it did actually win me a few games. I don't know if that's a consistent thing or if that was just a one-off, like it kind of just happened a few times, but it did feel really good when it happened. I think the interesting thing about this deck and where it's at now is definitely the rune spot, which I'll go into. So I'm playing 3 Gorgon's Gaze. I think it's the best counter trap. I think you run it at 3 no matter what. Altar of the Stars is, I think, this type of mechanic where you can Nexus using runes, I really think is going to be what makes Elestrals so special, because without the Nexus mechanic, Elestrals can feel very similar to Yu-Gi-Oh, where it's just battle phase, normal spells, and all these different things. But being able to play the game, battle phase, normal cast runes, like just like expense, but then to also have the spirits that are on your field matter so much and where they are at. It's just another game inside itself that it's so fun to think creatively about that, because if your opponent's not paying attention to both, you can really catch them off guard. And Altar of the Stars is just a fun card to play with. My next 3 is going to be Island of Aeolia. I live in Aeolia because Altar of the Stars requires 2 on the field, so if you want to use this early game, you're going to want as much Nexus Bank as possible. Also, Island of Aeolia came really in clutch in making Sorlet a 6 attack, because if you bring out Island of Aeolia and you bring out Sorlet, when you would normally need to use your Sorlet's effect in order to get over this Astrabbit, it makes it infinitely times better to be able to try and attack over an Astrabbit when it has 6 attack rather than try to use that effect. Just because that spirit that you would normally expend now stays on the field for Nexus plays. As well as when you're Nexusing all the time, cards like Nemisail and Exaltair find it really easy to get 2 Wind Spirits on them. So now their attack is 5. So now they not only are winning with these effects, but they also become 5 attacks, which is huge, and then Pikas can become a 5 defense. So that happens a lot, and Island of Aeolia is just kind of, I think now that we have 2 receive effects for wind, I think it's so good. I definitely would keep that in my deck. The only time I didn't is if I played the Wind Mirror, because boosting up their cards to be able to get over my Viseruses and Astrabbits is just not a good idea. But when you're not playing the Mirror, Island of Aeolia is amazing. But that's like that for any stadium you play in the Mirror. 3 Shield, because it's able to out cards, it's better than PTA. So PTA, I think, is the counter rune that most people are playing at too. That's what I did as well. 3 Tsunami, amazing card. Best card if you're not playing water. Puts in so much work and does so much for you for such a low cost. It's incredible. I had 2 Earthquake, and that's why I'm only playing the 5, because I was only playing 2. This Earth package, I'm seriously considering cutting out the Earthquakes, putting in Laurels, cutting this down to just 2 for Viserys, and then taking those 3 spirits and putting Lycurus up to 12. I think it would just make decision making so much easier, and it's going to make the deck run smoother. Laurels is a lot more situational. It's not as easy to make it work as Earthquake, but I think you can make it work, and I think you'll feel a lot better with the spirit count. So you kind of, when it comes to the spirit count and using Earthquakes, I think you just kind of have to figure out what you're most comfortable with and what you're most confident in won't mess you up in the end. This messed me up in the end, so that didn't feel good. Another thing to talk about is 2 Ambrosia. I didn't hate this card every time I saw it. I didn't love it either. When you have a card like Nemisail, where he is going to be something that regens you spirits that you need. He obviously doesn't regen as much. He obviously costs you a summon or a cast, and that part stinks, but also Ambrosia can get you back like Earth and stuff like that. I'm indecisive about where I'm at with Ambrosia. It didn't come up, it didn't win me any games, but it won my opponent's games, which is, you know, the name of the game. But yeah, I think it's a card that you can definitely consider cutting. There was a lot of game twos, my game two versus Hayden, all these different types of things where I cut this card in order to bring in another Nemisail, as well as more cards that actually did something instead of having this card in your hand when it could be another Elestral when you need it, an Altar of the Stars when you need it, Earthquake when you need it, like anything else. Yeah, it regens you those spirits, but if you're already in an advantage like spirit spot, you don't need, it's like a win more, like you don't need more. So it's something that you really have to play with and determine where you're at with it, because it can win you the game. That's the thing, it can be the thing that wins you the game, so you really have to just figure that out for yourself. 2 PTAs because it is the worst one, and I brought in 3 against in the second game of the finals. I used it at the wrong time and it messed everything up, and definitely cost me huge in an advantage. So still not in love with this card, but it's not a bad card when you see it and it works out well. Use this on Astrap. That's my best advice to you. That's the best card to do it on. 2 Aelus and 1 Zeus. Definitely would consider using the Aelus for more, and bringing up Elichik and maybe cutting Zeus. But I do like having the Zeus, and Aelus is still an expensive card. So I'd almost maybe consider bringing Elichik up to 3 and just searching. And I would even consider playing this at 3 and this at 1, because Zeus is so, he's cheap removal like Tsunami is, where you can just bring him out. It's an instant rune attack over something. It's something to consider. There's definitely things to pick and pry at with this deck list, but I'm pretty confident in it overall. For the side deck, I played 1 Tyratlis to bring in another Earthquake and make it 6, and I brought in 1 Lycoris in case I was feeling this sort of not enough spirits, which I probably should just put this in the main deck to begin with. I played 1 more Nemisail, which I brought in every game 2 of every, like I wish I had it in there from the beginning, so I was so happy to get that second game and I could finally bring it in. 3 Circle of the Sky, I never brought this card in, but I was thinking that it's a way to kind of change the tempo of what people are expecting. So when you Circle the Sky with P-Gust, you can like, say you draw, so when you draw Aelus and either Altar of the Stars or Circle in the Sky, you know that you have the ability with Aelus to spend 3 spirits, disenchant 2 of them, search one of your receive abilities, and then you can bring that receive ability out wherever the game state is. If you're low on spirits, you bring out Nemisail. If you're in the beginning of the game and they have back row, you bring out P-Gust, and then what happens is if you draw that combo of you bring out P-Gust, you have that one still on Aelus, you can then Circle of the Sky, bring that spirit to P-Gust, and then you destroy 2 back row that turn, plus you're going to draw a card. So the advantage of this card in combination with Aelus, I think, is the best possible use for this card. You can also do this sort of thing with Earth, or Thunder. Like these Thunder would be another really good one, but I think the fact that P-Gust is destroy 2 back row in a format where back row is everything, in the first turn, if you draw that combo to be able to destroy 2 back row, plus draw a card, I think is huge. So that's why I considered playing it, but I never brought it in because I didn't test it enough to fully trust that. And drawing combo cards, I think it's like 17% chance that you draw cards together. So it's not a searchable card. It's not a card that you can rely on. If you draw it later in the game, you're probably feeling bad if your board's not set up for it. So I didn't end up bringing it in, is what it is. And then to round it out, 3 Laurels I ended up bringing in the second game of the finals, because if he's playing Pantera and stuff like that, I wanted to be able to out it. I also brought in the 3rd Earthquake as well as the 3rd Poison Tipped Arrow, and I believe I brought out Ambrosias. I don't think I ever brought in the 3rd Ambrosia, but what I should have definitely done is in my semifinal games with Hayden when we were going into time, you should always have 3 Ambrosias in your deck for that, but I didn't. My brain was not on time. My brain was on winning the game. Luckily, I still had Nemisail and Exaltair, and I was able to win the game in time that way. But having the ability to always bring 3 Ambrosia in your deck, I think, is something that you should consider. If you're not playing in the main deck, put 3 in the side. But yeah, that's the deck overall. I hope you guys enjoyed. The tournament was super fun. This is my first top of an Elestrals tournament. I almost topped another, but things happened. I got DQ'd because I put the deck list in wrong, cost me a game. I didn't top. But right now, with where Elestrals is at with the tournaments, like, they're really just fun and a great way to meet people and to have a good time. It would have been awesome to, take first place and win that great prize, but I've learned so much and I've become so much better of a player just through playing competitively in the tournament that I feel really good about the future. I feel good about becoming better and better, and just moving forward, learning a lot. The things that the memories that I made in that Elestrals tournament are things I'll never forget. So above all else, I'm very appreciative of that, and I look forward to competing more and trying more deck lists out. But this is probably my favorite deck of the current format. I don't see that changing. So I love this deck. It's a lot of fun, and if you have not tried it out, I definitely recommend trying it out. It's a good time. So without further ado, I'm just gonna give the uncut footage, raw, like, just no editing, just watch it, enjoy it. Like I said, watch out for those mistakes that I've made. See if there's any other mistakes I've made. Definitely leave them in the comments. I feel no way about criticism. So if you have something about the way I played, I would honestly prefer to hear it, because I want to know how I can get better and how I can be a better player. So if there's things that I'm doing that are wrong, definitely just leave me a comment. Like, I'm very open. I want to, make friends with this. I want to be a part of the community. So just let me know what y'all are thinking, and I appreciate you for watching. Enjoy the finals match.
You may begin.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Good luck, man.
Good luck to you too. I'll cast 2 face downs.
Okay.
And then cast the Hydrake in attack position.
Okay.
Pass it on over to you.
That's good. I'm gonna bring out Ash Rabbit in defense road.
Okay.
Ash Rabbit effect.
Sounds good.
I will shuffle it up, and then I'm gonna put 2 face down. Will end my turn.
I will cast the Sorlet.
Okay.
Sorlet effect to expend 1 Wing Spirit. Change Ash Rabbit to attack.
Okay.
Then I will enter battle. Hydrake attacks into the Ash Rabbit.
When you enter battle phase, I will Tsunami.
Tsunami? Okay. Go ahead.
Alright. I am going to bring out Elechick.
Okay.
And Elechick effect.
I will Gorgons the Elechick.
Okay. I am then going to switch Ash Rabbit to attack.
Okay.
And then I will I'm going to put 2 more face down. I'm going to go to battle phase.
Yep.
Then I'm going to attempt to attack over Sorlet with Ash Rabbit.
That works.
And then I will end my turn.
I will change the attack, or Hydrake to attack.
Okay.
Cast the Aeolus.
You got it.
Enchant it with 2 additional spirits. Use Aeolus effect to disenchant 2 to search.
Okay.
Search the Exaltair.
Yep.
Cast the Exaltair.
Yep.
Exaltair effect to Nexus the Wind Spirit from Aeolus to the Hydrake. Burn for 2.
Thinking, yeah, I'll take that. 1 second.
Cast the Ambrosia.
Okay.
Enter Battle Step.
Yep.
Exaltair attacks Astrabbit.
Yep.
Hydrate crashes the Elecheck.
Yep.
And you take 1.
I will, in the damage step, I'm going to Gorgon's Gaze.
Okay.
And they'll make them crash, and then...
And you still take 1, and then they just no summon.
Yep.
To be precise, it's not the damage step, but yeah, I understand what you're doing.
What's up?
It's not the damage step, it's the battle step.
Battle step. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yu-Gi-Oh! Brain.
Yeah. And I will
I'll tell you
pass it to you.
I'm going to bring out Elechick.
Okay.
Attempt to search.
That's fine.
I will grab Aeolus.
Okay.
Shuffle up my deck. And I will attempt to go to battle phase.
Okay.
I will declare an attack on Exaltair.
I will cast the shield.
Okay.
And there's the extra spirit to bounce.
Alright. Your move?
Draw. Okay. I will cast the P-Gust.
Okay.
P-Gust effect to pop that one. Activate effective Exaltair to Nexus from the P-Gust to itself to burn for 2.
Yep.
And then enter battle and Exaltair attacks directly for 2.
Okay.
And pass it back to you.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna run out Viserys.
Okay.
I am then going to put 1 face down.
Yep.
I'm going to attempt to go to battle phase. And then I will declare an attack on Exaltair.
Exaltair goes down.
Alright, and then I will use the effect of Viserys. turn.
Well, I will cast Laurels to pop the attack position vest.
Okay.
And I will cast the Earthquake to get rid of the other vest.
Okay.
And then I will expend one. Draw.
Okay.
Okay. Pass it back to you.
Sounds good. Alright, I am going to activate Aeolus.
Okay.
Thinking. Yeah, 6. Alright, I'm just going to do an enchant it with 1. And I will
Okay.
destroy it to search.
Yep.
Going to grab Nemisail.
Okay.
Summon out the Nemisail.
Yep.
Nemisail effect. And then I will put another face down until the battle phase. Then I will attempt to attack you for 1.
1 damage is dealt.
Okay. Now on my turn.
Well, I will cast the Astrabbit in defense.
Okay, no response.
Astrabbit good?
Yep.
Okay. Look, 3. And I cast the Ambrosia.
Oh, okay.
And I will EQ the Nemisail.
Okay.
What?
I'm going to cast Aeolus.
Okay.
I will enchant with 2.
Yep.
Get rid of 2. Oh, frick. I messed up the math. Oh, man. Oh, no. I messed up the math. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Well, what are you gonna do about it? Man. sorry, it's just a big decision.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm gonna move Sorla to my hand.
Okay.
Man, if I had one more wind, but this is all I got.
Okay.
If I had one more wind, oh, that EQ on Nemisail is huge.
Enchant the Astrabit with a wind,
Okay.
and I will pass it back to you.
I got one face down.
I'm gonna ascend the rabbit.
Okay. Penterror? No, dude, no way. Alright, yeah, that's GG's.
And terror for game.
Yeah, good stuff, dude. Absolutely. Alright, game 2.
Alrighty.
I'm ready to go again. I'll go host.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll go first.
All good on my end.
Cool.
Good
Perfect.
luck, guys.
Thank you.
Keep it.
Keep this. Alright, in defense mode, I'll bring out an Astrabit. I will put 3 face down. Your move.
Set 2. And I will cast Ghost effect to pop that one.
Okay, thinking. I am going to Gorgon's Gaze your P-Ghost.
Okay. And I will pass it back over to you.
Okay. I'm going to bring out Elechick effect, unless you have a response.
I'm gonna go against that.
Okay. I'm just going to end my turn then.
I will cast Hydreic.
On the cast of Hydreic, I will PTA.
Okay. And I will enter battle.
Okay.
Hydreic attacks into the Elechick. Hydreic dies.
Yep.
Good. Okay.
Yep.
Effect of Hydreic to special cast the Quindra. Attack over the Elechick, the Tundra.
I will. I'm going to alter.
Okay.
Going to Nexus from Elechick onto Astrabbit. And I'm going to change your...
Quindra to defense.
Yep. And then I will be able to search with Elechick, with Astrabbit.
Yep. And my turn.
One. Going to EQ your Twindra.
Yep.
I will cast a Viscerus.
Yep.
Change to attack. I'll attempt to go to battle phase. I'll attempt to attack.
At battle, I'll cast Tsunami.
Okay.
I will cast the Elechick.
You got it.
Elechick effect.
Yep.
To add the Daedalus. Elichick attacks over the Vesk.
Okay.
Pass it to you.
All right. All right, I'm gonna go Elichick.
Yep.
I'm gonna grab myself an Aeolus.
Yep.
I'm going to go to battle. I'm going to attack over P-Gust.
Yep.
And I will end my turn.
Draw one. I will cast Ambrosia.
Okay.
Cast out Sorlet.
Got it.
Sorlet effect to expend one.
Okay.
You change the Astra bit. Then Sorlet will attack over Elichick.
Okay.
And Elichick will attack over Astrabit.
Alright.
And I will pass turn back to you.
Alright, I am... I'm going to use a wind. Get rid of your Sorlet. I'm going to put one face down. I'm going to bring out a Sorlet of my own.
Yeah.
Battle phase. Attempt to attack over the Elichick.
Yep.
You move.
Going to cast the Aeolus
Okay.
and enchant it with 2.
Okay.
Then I will cast Exaltair.
Okay.
Exaltair effect to Nexus from the Aeolus. Burn for 2.
Okay.
And then use Aeolus's effect to destroy it. To search the Nemisail.
Okay.
And I will pass it back to you.
Alright. I'm going to bring out Aeolus of my own.
Okay?
I'm going to enchant it with 2.
Yep.
Disenchant 2. Search. I am going to bring out a P-Gust.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast the P-Gust,
Yep.
destroying that.
Back row is destroyed.
Okay. Battle phase.
Yep.
Attack over Exalter.
Yep.
And then hit you for 1.
Yep.
That will end my turn.
I will EQ the Sorlet.
Okay.
And I will cast Nemisail.
Okay.
Nemisail effect.
Nice, that effect's good.
Regen 2 wind. Enter battle.
When you enter battle,
Nemisail.
I will soon.
Okay. Okay. And that's turn.
I'll put 1 face down, and I will. Nemesis defense is 1, so I will change P-Gust to attack. I'm going to enter the battle phase and attempt attack over Nemisail.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
I will cast Sorlet.
Yep.
Sorlet attacks over P-Gust.
Yep.
And pass it back to you.
I will put 1 face down. And my turn.
Cast a face down. Cast Astrabet.
Yeah, man.
Astrabet cast good.
Yep, dude, it's GG.
GG?
Man. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good game.
Good game. Congratulations, man, dude. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Congrats. I'm proud that I made it this far.
Yeah, no, you did great. You had a great day. It just seemed like, yeah, I mean, you had the right
Absolutely.
deck. I mean, I think something too, to congratulate you about too, is that you stuck with Pentair, when everybody, I feel like, was playing Wind, kind of was like, oh, I'll go like Nexus, instead of the Pentair line, and I think the aggressiveness of the Pentair just worked out really well today.
Thank you very much. That's
Yeah.
kind of when I was testing it. I was play testing Wind Nexus, and I was like, you know what? Pentair is hard to out. Like, if they don't have the out, it's game over. And if they do have the out, they're going to spend like 4 spirits getting rid of it.
Yeah, yeah. So
it
it's
would work the
yeah. No, it worked out great. Congratulations, man.